fish slam it here. Oh, look like a pretty thick tail. It's buried in lily pads here. Holy, it's got some good power. Still can't see it, the water is so dark now. What do we have? Oh. Certainly a pretty decent one. Strong. Oh, I can't get a net on him. Oh. I try to embrace winter. I do. And I like it. But evenings like this make it so hard. This is too nice. Oh boy. Come here. Won't come in. Just super feisty. Oh, I'll let you go. There we go. Just girthy like the other one today. Not that long, but just thick, strong as heck. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. That's a pretty nice pike. And the proportions on it are really weird. Like, it's not super long. Pretty long, but it's just super thick more than anything. Just gonna get it back real quick here. Get her upright. She fought really hard. That's a good, I don't know, at least 10-pound pike. Don't rush them off when they're with you after a long fight. She's breathing. She's breathing fine, I can see that, but probably just panting like a runner at the end of a marathon. Come on, girl. You're okay. It's the warm water as well. It makes it harder for cold water species like pike to revive themselves. There's a real temptation here for anglers to drag the fish back and forth or to shoot them off and hope that that propels them. Just wait. Be still. Be patient. She was lightly hooked too. Lightly hooked, and I had her out of the water for, what, 15 seconds? Yeah, I can feel her strength coming back. And see what she does here. Stay close. Yeah, there she goes. Swimming away into the weeds. Caught that fish on the Freedom Hydro Jig Head, along with this paddle tail, which is no more. It's just too shredded. After a certain point, they just won't stay on the jig. Sad thing is, I can't hardly enjoy a moment like this anymore without thinking how we're destroying it. All of this. Environmental grief is what they call it. It's hard to believe we could be given such a gift and ruin it. We, including me, I'm not pointing fingers. I'm part of it. I don't know if you saw that, it's a pretty good walleye. Got on the water pretty early today, and it's just been an incredible morning. Cool, windy, northern, and beautiful, ruggedly beautiful. Back on the Cap River today, heading for Stewart Lake. Right now I'm in a widening known as Berger Lake, I believe. Quite nice, feels very remote. I fried up some salami in Havarti because the salami had been in there for 6 days. It's supposed to be refrigerated. And it was starting to smell pretty funky. In fact, every time I opened the food barrel, it was kind of gross, so figured a little fry would help it out. Makes me realize how much grease is in salami and processed meat too. There was so much oil in the pan. Really good though. With some dried tomatoes, mustard. Leaving the Cap River behind, it continues on that way. I just came from there, and I'm heading down south now into a lake section. Got a few big lakes coming up in the next few days. So I'm halfway through Stewart Lake. I was just thinking about camping there on that beach, but it's 3:30, and I think I'll just keep going. Yeah. Just blasting through Stewart Lake. Decided I don't think I'll camp here unless I find something nice. But got something for my trouble along the way. Nice walleye. The wind is up. This is exactly why I would prefer small lakes. This one's not even one of the big ones. Pretty good walleye lake. Yep. Yep. Well, I was planning on going past Stewart Lake, but the headwinds and the fishing convinced me to stay. Gonna make a huge dinner here and then see what the lake has in store for me this evening with the fish. Well, I was looking forward to a feast of garlic bread with my chili, but there's a little problem. I had 10 slices left for nothing. I was going to eat them all just to avoid this, but I am too late. Looks like the last one might not have any mold, but it's still pretty gross. No, it does. Awesome. Oh well, I'll just eat some more fish this trip. Went out fishing after dinner and looked across the lake and saw this huge sweeping cloud of rain coming toward me. Bolted back, got back just in time. Rain's light now, but it could come on. It's good feeling. Feels safe, dry, comfortable as can be. The bugs aren't bad tonight. It's a complete miracle. There are a couple mosquitoes here. I think getting away from the river has been a big part of that. Rivers are usually the worst, in my experience. This part is pretty funny. The kid is on the tree line, well north of here, and the bugs are eating him alive. And in the book they write, never in all the reading in the movies he had watched on television about the outdoors, never once had they mentioned the mosquitoes or the flies. All they ever showed on the naturalist shows was beautiful scenery or animals jumping around, having a good time. Nobody ever mentioned the mosquitoes and flies. I like the animals jumping around. Today is by far the shortest day of the trip in terms of distance. I probably only have to cover about 5 kilometers, and the only reason I'm stopping there is to fish Stone Lake. There's a nice moose up ahead, ducking his head into the weeds, munching away. Let's see if I can get closer. I think if I try and paddle past him, I don't think he'll mind. He must have realized I was here by now. Doesn't seem to care. Hey-o! I'm here. Just letting you know. He's a bit more interested now. Still eating, but looking straight at me for a while now. Okay, if he saunters off, that would be perfect. Yep, good moose. Oh, there goes the wind. That was just magical. What a beautiful bull. Trotted off like he weighed nothing. I was just thinking, this headwind is killing my right wrist. I can barely paddle on my right side now. It's drizzly this morning, it's pretty cool. Overcast. That just made none of it matter. The blueberries have been dismal on this trip. This is the best bunch that I've seen. There should be thousands of bunches like these. Just ran off. A little mink, I think. I can see the rain coming across the lake. It's about to get wet. huge point here where I'm hoping to set up camp. It's not going to work out, unfortunately. There just aren't good enough trees to hang the hammock. Would have been a sweet little spot. Although on second thought, I was thinking how nice it would be to shore fish from here, bomb it out. It's covered in bird crap, so it's all good. It actually reeks. This wouldn't have been a good option at all. Battling this wind, but can't help but troll. Nice walleye. Finally out of the wind, found my camp for the night. Food barrel's pretty empty. This is going to be so good. Got 3 burritos on the way, cheesy. Thankfully the tortillas are not molded. They seem to last a lot longer. I'm pretty much drooling here as I wrap these up. I was pretty hungry. Weirdest bird call. What the heck? It's just a crow? Never heard a crow make that first noise. Weirded me out for a second. Doing a fish fry again tonight. Nice loon with some shrimp ramen noodles. Start out with some powdered milk, just a little. Add the water. Get the fillets all milked up, and then good old fish crisp. Make sure everybody's getting some of the love. Lots of love. Flip for some more lovin'. I'm excited. I'm frying the ramen in the juices. Should only make it better. Shockingly good every time. Yum. Mix some of the walleye scraps in with the ramen as well. I was good with either pike or walleye tonight, but ended up with walleye. Cheers, Stone Lake. It's been one of the most enjoyable trips of my life. The scenery hasn't been mind-blowing, it's just super pretty and peaceful. But the experiences, it almost feels like the trip's over because I don't know what else I could ask for. It's calming down now, so it's time for a paddle. Fish on. Just enjoying the sunset. As usual on this trip, I haven't slept very well in Aaron's too small hammock, but the upside today is watching the first crack of light come into the sky with the loons calling. There's a gorgeous little log cabin on that point there. So sweet. Every moment of this morning has been magical. From the otters, the sun, the birds, the calm, the lack of bugs. My soul is just full to overflowing right now. So happy. If losing some sleep this trip because of the hammock being too small was the price to pay for waking up early this morning and experiencing this, then it was all worth it. So I've got 2 portages left on this trip. This one is 1.6 kilometers, the last one is 2.2. It's quite a contrast versus the piece of this morning. The 2.2 is tomorrow, so just one today. It's not too bad. And it seems, before I speak too soon, pretty clear. some decent blueberries in here. Still not that many. But also some fakers like these. And more commonly these. I find these grow with blueberries quite often. I don't know what they are, but that means I don't eat them. Disturbed a hive. Oh man. Oh. Oh. Only got a couple stings. Oh, but that scares the crap out of me when that happens. Oh, a throb. It's just so sudden and shocking. I was just swiping away, hacking. Evidently hit something. But thankfully they didn't swarm me. It makes the mosquito bites seem like kisses from a fairy. I have to go back now with the canoe. Hopefully they don't pay me any mind. Or they just attack the canoe. That would be fine. Almost there. Whoa! Oh, it's mucky. I'm stuck. Oh. No, it's got my shoe. There. Our lake. Ara is a mega lake. It's just massive. Oops. That's a lot of lake back there. Almost through it. I'm 2/3 of the way through the aptly named Arameta Channel. It's this huge channel in between Ara and Meta lakes, which is alone the size of most lakes, if not more. It's impossible to really grasp how big these lakes are until you're actually paddling on them. On a map, you can never really appreciate it. It's been a long day of paddling, but I'm almost into Meta Lake, the last lake of the trip. A full day of getting baked in the sun, plus the lack of sleep is catching up with me. Pretty eager to make camp here and call it a day. 8 days in and the food cravings are really starting to creep up on me. Just got a Wiku one for McDonald's, and most of the trip I've been dying for like a blizzard or a milkshake. Tomorrow, got something good. Can't seem to find camp anywhere here. I'm debating setting up in the bush here. I can drift down to some islands out in the middle of the lake, but they're like 2 kilometers away, and they'll have to make up that ground tomorrow. Where I want to camp is down that way, another few kilometers, but I have to fight through a wicked headwind to get to it. This wind is really sucky right now. I was thinking of trying to tackle it, but now I'm having second thoughts. I have to eat dinner here. It's just a tinder box in there. Wouldn't be safe. Done dinner and it's after 6. The wind doesn't seem to be letting up, so I'm just gonna improvise in here. It's got a cute little archway. It's got that going for it. I looked all around. There are dead trees hanging all over the place. In fact, this has this big birch here. That's dead. I'm not totally comfortable with that, but there are widowmakers everywhere, so I'm gonna do a little clearing in here and that should do the trick. This is like take number 8 of trying to say what I'm trying to say. Just have no mental abilities right now. I slashed myself across the eye with a cedar bough as I was clearing this area, and then while I was pulling up the canoe onto the rocks, I slipped on a mucky one, smashed my shin, and got all wet. But I'm in dry clothes now, and I would like to raise a toast to an otherwise exceptional trip. The bear, the moose, the otters, the eagles, the pike, the walleye, the sunsets, the sunrises, big skies, big wind, debacle rapids, and so many other little things that made this experience so rich. The Marshall Lake Loop was really special. Cheers. Now I'm going to finish my book and do nothing else today. This was a good book. A simple book, but a good book. My takeaway from the book is that the more time one spends in nature, the more one embraces that lifestyle, and not only embraces it, but starts to resent and reject the regular life. I certainly relate to that. When I'm out here, I don't even want cell phone signal. I haven't even tried to pick up a signal. I know I won't get one. It'd be nice for a weather forecast, but otherwise, I do not want any kind of connection. If there was a McDonald's here, despite whatever cravings I have, I would not want it. I just want to be where I am with the limitations that I have. The simplicity of it is just something you don't get in day-to-day life. The final day of a long trip is always so bittersweet. You wake up so many times thinking you have more days to explore, but eventually those days run out. You don't want to go home, but you have to. But I got a box of chocolate chip cookies waiting for me in the car, and a beautiful woman at home. So it's time to wrap this beauty up, get this last long portage done, send her home. Carbo loading here with some fettuccine alfredo before this port. After this, I have literally nothing left in my food bag except spices, tea, and coffee. This is a real tough takeout here. This quicksand. Trying to push my way into the canoe so I don't sink down. I already took my two heaviest bags out. Got them to shore. So there's this yellow little portage sign there, that's where I took out, and this orange flag. Turned out there was another turn in the creek, which would have been a lot easier. Oh well. Past the 2-hour mark now, and it starts to get pretty tedious. Two hours and 20 minutes of buggy portages later, and it's done. That means to close off, I just want to say thanks to Rob Haslam for putting me onto this route, for making the maps for it and putting them out there, for being a steward of this route and others in the north, and for lending me materials to repair my canoe after the Steel River trip. Thanks, Rob. No chance you made it this far in the video if you ever started it, but anyway, thanks.